welcome to Organizing Basics session. So now, what is organizing? See, organizing or the organization in management is used in two different senses: organization as a structure and organization as a process. If we take it as a process, uh, or in fact as a structure also, it is a second management function, but it takes care of the process more, and as is organizing operations and implementing decisions. So this is a process form, a predetermined directional flow of information from top management and standard procedures for implementing decisions that can streamline a hierarchical organization. So, when we talk about this hierarchical organization, we take care of the part of organizational structure, whereas this directional flow of information takes care of the organization as a process. So organizing can be used in two terms, in terms of organization as a process and organization as a structure. Now, department managers in a flat organization implement decisions and organize operations to support the direction of the company. With style and method of organizing, left to the department manager, situational experience at the lower levels of the company are readily handled through without waiting for approval from the top management. So there is a sense of some authority responsibility relationship, which we would be discussing in the following slides. According to Kimball and Kimball, organizing embraces the duties of designating the departments and the personnel that are to carry on the work, defining their functions, and specifying the relations that are to exist between the departments and individuals. Also, according to Millward, organization is the harmonious interrelation of functions and staff. So it is taking care of the organization as a structure concept, whereas Kimball and Kimball emphasized on the process part of the organizing. So, according to Mooney and Riley, organization is the form of every human association for the attainment of common purpose. Clearly, it is telling out the process that organization is the as a basic function of management, and it has to be a continuous and a dynamic process for creating a relationship between its specialized units and human association. According to Allen, organization is the process of identifying and grouping the works to be performed, defining and delegating responsibility and authority, and establishing relationship for the purpose of enabling people to work more effectively together in accomplishing objectives. So it Allen actually emphasized on the responsibility and authority relationship, on delegation, which are the key parts of organizing, and establishing relationship for the purpose of effective working. So everything in the management is about accomplishing objectives, but how and which process you adopt is important. So in the organizing, it is the delegation and responsibility authority relationship which Allen is emphasizing upon in organizing. So, organizing refers to a dynamic process and a managerial activity by which a different elements or parts of an enterprise are brought together. So, now you understand the importance of organizing, that this is the process by which all the key resources can be uh, brought together to obtain the desired objectives. So organizing is understood as the creation of structure of relationship. Now, the first part was about the process, and the second is about the structural relationship among various positions and jobs for the realization of objectives and goals, and it is the vehicle through which goals are sought to be attained. So, as a structure, organization is a network of horizontal and vertical authority relationships among the member of a group designed to accomplish some common objectives. So, it is going to be a system or pattern of formal relationship that govern the activities of people. Organization structure provides the framework within which people work together, and the formal structure of organization is kind of two dimensional, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal dimension is something that there is a differentiation of jobs into departments or divisions, like HR department, finance department, and so on. Whereas the vertical dimension tells about the hierarchy of authority relationship, like the number of levels, assistant manager, manager, senior manager. So it's going to be the vertical relationship, and it is a structure of duties and responsibilities interwoven to for it, and the sole purpose is the efficient achievement of the objectives. And organizing is a part of management activity devoted to establish a structural relationship of the resources of an undertaking, and is a mechanism that enables the employees to work together. The work of organizing in this way looks to the structural as well as functional aspects of business and correlates the different factors with their functions. All business enterprises, irrespective of their forms, require organization for their economic operation and smooth running of business. The larger the size of business, the more complicated and formal becomes the task of organizing. Now, what is the nature of organization? So, what are the descriptive characteristics of organizing? One, it is a process. Like I told you, it is a process of defining, arranging, and grouping the activities of an enterprise and establishing the authority relationship among the people. And it is going to be a framework within which people associate for their attainment of objectives. The framework, it provides means for assigning activities to various parts and identifying the relative authorities and responsibilities of those parts. In simple terms, organization is the process by which the chief executive, as a leader, groups his men in order to get the work done. So one person comes into as for organizing, and that is supposed to be the chief executive officer or the leader, or the head of that department or function or organization. He groups his men, he assigns them the tasks, the responsibilities to achieve the objectives. Organization is a structure as well. Like I told you, it is an interwoven structure of vertical and horizontal relationships and hierarchical structures. They contribute to the vertical structures, and the departments and divisions contribute to the horizontal structure. So, the function of organizing is the creation of structural framework of duties and responsibilities to be performed by a group of people for the attainment of objectives of the concern. The organization structure consists of a series of relationships at all levels of authority. An organization as a structure contains an identifiable group of people contributing their efforts towards the attainment of goals. It is an important function of management to organize the enterprise by grouping the activities necessary to carry out the plans into administrative units and defining the relationship among the executives and workers in such units. The third is dividing and grouping the activities. Now, as we have defined it as a process and a structure, the third aspect is that there is a division of work and there is grouping of activities. Hence, organizing means the way in which parts of enterprise are put into working order. In doing such, it calls for the determination of parts and integration of one complete whole on the other. In fact, organization is a process of dividing and combining the activities of an enterprise. Now, something like, for example, there is the purchase has to be made in terms of the administrative requirements of finance department, HR department, and marketing department. Now, what would be in this case, the determination of paths, that is the process of dividing, is we have divided our work in finance, in marketing, and in HR. But how is the combining the activity? So when you are taking the purchase orders for all these three, and the finance department will purchase for its own, or marketing will do it on its own, it may become an inefficient process. So they would collectively, one purchase department would collect their purchase orders and would purchase on behalf of the organization. So in this way, this is an example of combining the activity of an enterprise. Now, activities of an enterprise are required to be distributed between the departments, units, or sections, as I have told you just now, between the people for securing the benefits of division of labor and specialization. So, a person who is good with communication skills, and he knows the environment, he has the ability to convince the people. You would like to put him in the marketing department. So because that is specialization. And if somebody is very good in numbers, is excellently doing Excel, MS Excel, so you would like to put him in the finance department to have the division of labor and the benefits of specialization, and are to be integrated or combined for giving them a commonness of purpose. So everyone is told what is expected out of them, and there is one person who is overlooking that all these things will collect themselves and would bring the synergistic effect. So according to Uvik, the determining what activities are necessary to any purpose and arranging them as groups which may be assigned to individuals is also organization. The next characteristic of organization is accomplishment of goals. Now, everything is happening to achieve the goals. Why did some people come together? Because they had certain goals, maybe profit maximization, maybe wealth maximization, and then they are going to pursue those goals. They would find out how they are going to do that, what kind of business activity they would be in, how the structure of the organization be, how the division of labor be, specialization, delegation, and they everything else would come into the accomplishment of goals. So, an organization structure has no meaning or purpose unless it is built around certain clear cut goals or objectives. In fact, an organization structure is built up precisely because it is the ideal way of making a rational pursuit of objectives. So, a harmonious adjustment of specialized parts for the accomplishment of some common purpose or purposes also is defined as organization in the words of Henne. And then authority responsibility relationship. Without this authority and responsibility, you can't keep on expecting a person to do everything for you without having any authority on some certain things. Or when up till you will made a person responsible for something, you cannot extract work from them. So it is a beautiful combination of authority and responsibility which makes a person work for the organizational goals. An organization structure consists of various positions arranged in hierarchy with a clear definition of authority and responsibility associated with each of these. An enterprise cannot serve the specific purpose of goals unless some positions are placed above others and given authority to bind them by their decision. In fact, organization is quite often defined as structure of authority responsibility relationship. So, in few words, if you want to define organizing, it is a structure of authority responsibility relationship. So, you can well imagine how important is this relationship in organizing. Then human and material aspects. Of course, without human and materials, it is sort of impossible to achieve the goals of an organization, because all the time the organization deals with human and material factors in business. So human element is most important element in the organization, And to accomplish the task of building up a sound organization, it is essential to prepare an outline of the organization which is logical and simple. The manager should then try to find the suitable people, as Henry Fayol also says, that see that human and material organizations are suitable and ensure material and human order. So everything is emphasized on the human and material aspects because those are the key factors which an organization deals with in the business activity. Now we come to the importance and significance of organization. Now, are why the organizations are important? Because one, they lead to the efficient administration. Without the clearly defined authority, responsibility structure, or the division of labor, you cannot have a good or sound administration. A properly designed organization facilitates administration, proper division of work with systematic and specific fictionalization of duties, and consistent delegation of authority with well defined interrelationships will not only ensure better utilization of personnel and their abilities but also smooth the management of business activity. Imagine a situation where you are into a business, you have hired 10 people, they do not know what they have to do, what is expected out of them. Would they be able to give you any results? It would be a license fair organization where anybody wants to do anything. They are not in coordination, because they do not know uh, uh, how and who they are responsible to and for what kind of activities they should be doing. So whatever whosoever feel like doing will do that, and that would be a mess within the organization. An organization would not be able to function properly. So it avoids confusion and misunderstanding and eliminates delay and inefficiencies in the performance of work. It removes all bottlenecks in the flow of work and facilitates quick and correct decisions. It secures optimum use of physical, mechanical, and human resources. The second is prompt accomplishment. Yes, once you know what you have to do, don't you do it promptly? Once there is a clarity of a goal, then it is easy to pursue the goal. So, in the same fashion, it adds definiteness to the activities to be accomplished by allocating the duties and responsibilities to the individual members of the enterprise. It thus secures certainty and promptness in accomplishment of the tasks. The next is growth and diversification. So it promotes growth and facilitates diversification. Expansion of business and diversification of production process depends on sound organization. Giant businesses are the outcome of organizational ability of managers. So it ensures the organization ensures growth and diversification of the business, which is actually good in the long run. Then optimum use of advanced technology. So when you are properly organized and you're in a structure, then you can very well lap up the new things, new factors. Whereas if you are confused, you won't be able or you would not welcome the new technology as well. So, the present technical development greatly influences the need for more adequate organization structure and understanding the proper form of organization, which is best designed to accommodate the new factors. The high cost of installation, operation, and maintenance of new equipment calls for proper organization. Then, stimulating creativity. Once you are at ease, once you know what is expected out of you, then only your creative juices started churning. And with the clearly defined goals and what you are responsible for, once this clarity is there, when you know your specialization, it it then stimulates creativity. So, good organization stimulates independent creative thinking and initiative by providing well defined areas of work, with provision for development of new and improved way of doing things. Now, if I am there and I have been given a product of the organization uh, to advertise it. Now I exactly know what is expected out of me, for which age group this product is, what kind of expectation of the company is with this advertisement. Having defined all these things only would let me make a suitable advertisement for the organization, because it involves my creativity as well as the inputs given by the organization. So the inputs are important, the clearly defined structure is important for the creativity. In short, the organization structure demands creative result from creative people. By establishing clear-cut accountability, it provides recognition for the professionals and specialists in terms of their achievements. Now we come to steps in the organization. First is, you will determine the activities. What activities are we going to have? You will make a list of entire activities of the organization. Then you'll group the activities. Then you'll assign the duties. Then you'll establish the relationship, what kind of authority, responsibility, structure is going to be there, and then you delegate the authority. So all these steps are going to have the organization process. The first is determination of activities. It is the first step in organizing, where you would divide the total job of an enterprise into several essential activities. Something like, this is, we are going to do production, we are going to do financing, we are going to do purchasing, we are going to do sales, we are going to do personnel, we are going to do marketing, and so on. Then, identification of work enables the managers to concentrate attention on these important activities and to avoid duplication of work and eliminate overlapping or wastage of effort. So, there would be no wastage of efforts once the things are categorically determined and bifurcated. Then, once you've bifurcated, then you will group the activities. The various activities identified under the first step are then classified into appropriate departments and divisions on the basis of functions, products, territories, or consumers. Now, for example, the various activities connected with production may be grouped and classified as production department activities. This will facilitate specialization, and such grouping of activities is also known as department tie-in. Then, allocation or assignment of duties. Now, once it has been characterized, the division has been made in the organization, then comes the allocation or assigning the duties to the individuals. It is like fixing the suitable and qualified people into the activities of each department. Each person in the department will be given a specific part of the job to do and will be made responsible for it. So the task of management in this step is to appoint workers, foremen, supervisors, etc., and to define the responsibility of each one of them. While assigning duties, the requirements of the job and competence of the individual should be properly matched together. Assignment of duties creates responsibility and ensures certainty of work performance. Then, establishment of relationships. Now, it is very important to have or to know the the authority relationship, in the sense that the assignments of tasks to individuals, superior subordinate relationships between various positions are established in the enterprise. The superior manager commands his subordinates, and the subordinate manager gives him the reports of his performance. So, such relationships and channels of communication should be clearly defined. Each and every individual should know clearly from whom he is to take orders and to whom he is accountable for his performance. So, An authority relationship is established so that you exactly know from whom you have to take orders. Then delegation of authority. Appropriate amount of authority is delegated to people to enable them to perform the assigned duties with confidence. No one can discharge his responsibility regarding a particular work in the absence of requisite authority to do the same. So the manager will have to pass on some authority for completing the assigned work to the sectional managers, and the sectional managers to others below them. And delegation of authority means conferring of operational decision making powers by top managers to the subordinate managers. So, authority also involves the operational decision making power. Thank you so much for listening. This was all about the organization process. Thank you so much.